Hello everyone and welcome back to Procurement in the Park. I'm Schuh and today's video is for those of you who are already well into your careers but are now considering or maybe have already made a lateral move into procurement. Moving into a new function like procurement can seem daunting, but it's actually more common than you may think. In fact, I've seen countless examples of people from other departments, like engineering, sales, and even research, transitioning into procurement and thriving. It can be a huge advantage to come into procurement with experience in a different field, as it gives you a unique perspective that many lifelong procurement professionals may not have. In the automotive industry, for instance, I've worked with several clients who made incredibly successful transitions. My client Stefan is one such an example. He started his career as a material scientist, leading high-pressure casting for engine blocks in manufacturing before switching over to procurement. He ended up leading the procurement team responsible for casting suppliers. One thing I often hear from procurement executives is that they struggle to get a seat at the table with engineering teams. But Stefan, that was never an issue for him. Engineers eagerly listened to him in meetings and suppliers did the same. His engineering background gave him credibility, and I often say half-jokingly, it's easier to teach an engineer to become a buyer than to teach a buyer to become an engineer. Another great example at a more senior level is Rudy. Rudy was a sales executive at a steel maker before being promoted to head of procurement. His interpersonal skills and sense of humor made him an excellent leader, not just within the procurement team, but also as an ambassador for procurement among internal stakeholders. What's more, his background in sales gave him a unique advantage. He knew exactly what tricks supplier sales teams would try to pull. He was always one step ahead in negotiations. So what's the common thread here? Whether you come from engineering, sales, or another function, the skills you bring can be a huge asset in procurement. Engineers, for example, often have deep technical knowledge, which makes them invaluable when working closely with suppliers on complex projects. Sales professionals, on the other hand, are natural negotiators and communicators with a deep understanding of how to manage relationships. A skill set that is just as important in procurement as it is in sales. And it's not just the technical or interpersonal skills that are transferable. Moving into procurement offers a chance to apply fresh perspectives. When you come into procurement from another department, you are able to challenge the status quo and introduce new ideas. You might approach problem solving differently or see opportunities for innovation that someone who has been in procurement for the whole career might overlook. I can relate to this idea of a lateral move into procurement from personal experience. At university, I was doing research on the application of artificial intelligence in industry. And my first job was with Unilever, where I led the development of an early customer relationship management and order-taking system. I wasn't planning to stand in that kind of role forever. But then I got the chance to lead an internal business process re-engineering project working with an external consulting company. And then I thought, why not try consulting for 2 or 3 years? What I hadn't planned was to end up spending 30 years in consulting, much of that focused on procurement, a field I knew nothing about when I first started. But here I am, 3 decades later, having built a rewarding career in an area I've never expected to work in. So if you're thinking about making a lateral move into procurement, here are a few things to keep in mind. First, leverage your existing expertise. Whether you're coming from engineering, sales, finance, or another department, the skills and insights you've built up will serve you well in procurement. Bring that knowledge with you and don't be afraid to apply it. Second, embrace the learning curve. You won't know everything right away, and that's completely okay. Procurement is a broad field that touches many parts of the business, from supplier relationships to cost management. You'll pick up the specifics as you go along, but the learning process is part of what makes the transition exciting. Third, build relationships. One of the key challenges in procurement is managing relationships, not just with suppliers, but with internal stakeholders too. If you're coming from another function, your existing relationships within the company can be a big help in this area. Use those connections to bridge the gaps and foster collaborations. Fourth, bring a fresh perspective. You're not just there to learn. You're also there to bring something new. Challenge established ways of thinking and look for opportunities to improve processes. Sometimes a fresh set of eyes is exactly what procurement needs. In the end, making a lateral move into procurement can be one of the best decisions of your career. Whether you come from engineering, sales, or even something completely different, your background gives you a unique perspective that can add immense value to a procurement team. It's a field full of challenges, but also full of opportunities for those willing to think creatively and build strong relationships. Thanks for joining me today. I'm Schuh, and this has been Procurement in the Park. Stay tuned for more episodes where we'll continue exploring the exciting world of procurement and how to build a successful career in it.